Alright, so the power's out. The utility power, that is. And as you can see, the refrigerator's still running. All the food's cold. And it is 82 degrees in the main part of the house. The heat index this afternoon is going to be 103 in Florida. And we'll come out here into the power room. And let's see if we can see this. We've got 1,650 watts coming in from the sun. We've got 440 go into the batteries and 1,220 go into the inverter. The state of charge is 99%. Says we have 800 watts going out of the inverter. The inverter isn't that inefficient, but I figured that when it says 0.8 kilowatts, that's about 8 amps going out. And let's see, we got 121 volts. So everything's looking pretty good there. The reason the power draw is so high, I've got the internet on. Both the fridge and the freezer are running at the moment, and I have a 5,000 BTU window AC running in the bedroom. .56 amps right now. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's a 24 volt DC system, and I've basically, what I've done is I put a receptacle here on the wall. When the power's out, I plug in to the output of the inverter, and when the power's on, I plug the input cord from the inverter into that outlet. That way I know when I'm pulling from the batteries and when I'm not. I make the choice on when I turn it on and when I don't use it. I do have a transfer switch, but I've decided not to use it at this point. So when the power's out, especially in the daytime when we catch it, we as long as the battery is charged, we turn on the window unit, 72.5 degrees in here, and we try to cool it down the best that we can. Let's see, 538 volt amps. 4.62 amps and 116.9 volts. The power factor's 0.97, which is pretty good. So we try to pre-cool the room before the sun goes down, and then we set the air conditioner to about 95 degrees roughly. Not 95, I'm sorry. We set it to about 75 degrees at nighttime, and what we've found, as long as the room is pre-cooled, and of course we stuff a blanket under the door so we don't lose any of the air, we typically don't have any issue with the batteries going below 50% at nighttime. It usually pulls about 1.5 kilowatts for the nighttime on the air conditioner, according to the kilowatt meter. And then the refrigerator and freezer, they pull roughly another, I think one of them is 0.6 kilowatt hours and the other one is roughly 0.4, so another kilowatt hour in the evening is used for that. And it charges the batteries up fairly quickly in the morning time. We won't start the little window AC until the batteries are approaching full charge, and once they're at full charge we'll start the window unit up and enjoy some cool air. The other day we had a power outage that caught us off guard. Power went out about 6 o'clock at night. It was a thunderstorm, had no sun on the panels, and we ended up having to start the generator. The generator is just a junky homeowner generator. I think I paid $300 at Lowe's 15 years ago for it. And the power inverter doesn't recognize it, doesn't like the power quality it puts out. So unfortunately I'm not able to use it to charge the batteries, and I don't have a battery charger just for this purpose. So we ended up hooking it directly to the air conditioner, ran it for about 3 hours to cool the room down, and then switched it over to the power inverter. And then about 1 o'clock in the morning the power came back on and everything was good, but the batteries never went below, they were about 76% remaining at 1 o'clock in the morning. So we likely would have never went much below 60% before the sun came up. So we've got 2 banks. Each bank is 24 volts, 220 amp hours. So we got 440 amp hours total. I keep them outside in a outdoor storage box. They do get a little warm, unfortunately. What I'm planning on doing eventually is maybe putting a little earth berm around the box, building a concrete box, putting the batteries in them and giving them a little bit more thermal insulation. There's the solar panels there. No shade on them currently. I need to get out here with the weed whacker and clean this area up a little bit. And we got a thunderstorm building to the west of us. Still got a couple hours of sun. One of the nice things about this, and the primary reason I haven't used the transfer switch yet, the transfer switch is inside the house, and when I use it I can't operate my well. So I just keep the main breaker turned off when the power's out, and I have an app on my phone. I check the power status from the power company every so often and see if it's come back on yet or not. But I have the ability to run the It's a 3/4 horsepower well pump, and it runs off of the Outback power inverter. No issues. And let some water out of it, and there it goes. That pulls about 1300 watts when it's running. There is a slight voltage drop between the power inverter and the pump out here. It's about 4 volts, so it's not too bad. It starts right up. Even with the 1200 watts that was already being pulled by the inverter, it never has any sag. Seems to handle the startup load just fine. Of course, I've never had the inverter at 3500 watts, which is its rated capacity. Basically, we run everything in the house. All our bulbs are compact fluorescent. Once LEDs come down and they start blowing, we'll switch over to the LEDs, but for now the compact fluorescents do the job for us. A nice swimming pool. If this storm moves in to us, I won't be going swimming, but if it doesn't, I'm gonna hop in.